Hey, it is Friday, November 28th, and we've got some updates here. I've got quite a bit of news, and also I will be introducing the new project closer to the end of this video. So let me get started with DSJ. And I know that it's a Thanksgiving weekend for the US, but I had to get this one out. I want to go over a few things here on DSJ that, to me is concerning. And just so you know, I broke 11,000 here, and I'm, as you can see, I've moved money from trade to exchange for withdrawal, and this is already in Ethereum. And thank goodness Ethereum went up a little bit, but I'm waiting for a withdrawal on that. And let me tell you why. This one, all I can say is, like I've been saying all along, get your seed money out as fast as possible, and then you can kind of relax on, just kind of playing the gamification of it. And this one, I've been wondering about Christmas time and how everyone will be wanting to take out money for Christmas. And that would be quite a big drain on their coffers. And so I actually sent them, I was wondering, because about a month ago, Stephen Beard actually said that they're going to have 2 annual meetings, and one in November and another in December. And they held the November one in Vegas a few weeks back, if you remember. And so just for I'm like, it made me wonder what they're going to do before the next meeting. And so made me start thinking about it. But anyway, I've been in these things quite a bit over the past, 5 or 6 years. And it seems like right around Christmas time is when they start thinking about all the drain on their coffers, and then they might even start thinking about taking off on us. The only thing about this one is that you put your trades in, it makes it look really cool like you're doing it, but you just never know what's going on behind the scenes. So I asked both Elena and Steven about the December meeting. I'm like, what's going on with the December meeting? So I asked them when and where is the annual meeting in December. And Elena sent me back a text that said it already happened. And I'm like, okay, we're not in December yet, so it didn't. But she's basically talking about the November one. And then Steven sent me back one that said, and this first part is what concerned me a little bit. He says, I don't have any plans for that right now, but I will announce any important notices in the group. And so they're not even really planning it, even though they said they were going to have 2. And so that one, you can take it with a grain of salt. But for me, then right after that, he sends all this information about, and this is what's happened in protocols like this in the past with me, is they make this big push as far as bonuses and like bonuses and advancements like that, where they'll double your bonuses, they'll double this, they'll double that, and then they rug. So this is, and then right after that, he sends me the picture of the BG Wealth sharing Thanksgiving giveaway event. And when I got that, I'm like, oh man, that is not what I want to see. It sounds wonderful because of all the extra bonuses and everything, but that always scares me because they just want all this new money to come in right now, like super quick. So this one just says, from daily reward invites, the warm-hearted return, it says invite one investor to invest $3,000, this is just an example, and receive $300 referral reward plus $240 return. So a total of $540 for everyone you get in that's 1,000 or above to 5,000. And then the 5,000 one is instead of 8% extra, they give you 10% extra. So if you invite someone for $5,000, you receive your $500 and another $500. So you get $1,000. And so it just says investing $1,000 to $5,000 earns you an extra 8%. Investing $5,000 or more earns you an extra 10%. That means during this promotion, referring members, new members, will bring you higher commissions, double rewards, and significantly greater returns than usual. To me, that's a red flag because of what happened to me in the past several times. So, I mean, they've got this thing in a pretty good frenzy, and now they're offering these double bonuses. Scared me. I'm like, well, so I'm withdrawing money that I'm going to take out, and I'll probably take out more in the next day or two. So November 25th through December 3rd. So I just want to give everyone a heads up. Make sure, and the thing is, this thing can go on for years. I don't know, but it's just take that as a grain of salt. Just whatever you're deciding, whatever you're feeling, just make sure you get your seed money out. Even if you're before the 50 days, you probably made some pretty good profits in there. So at least take your seed money out. If you put $1,000 in and your account's at like, $1,700, take out $1,000 and just leave $700 in there to grow. And if it keeps going for months and months, then you'll definitely make it up, but at least you'll be safe. And that's just what I'm feeling. So just like I said, take that how you will, and make your moves appropriate to where you feel. But mine, I'm taking some money out just to hedge my bets in this, because I've already made some good money in it. Everyone who's in it makes 1.3%, 1.26% a day, so they're all making good money in it. And even when, I guess the first inkling for me was the first annual meeting, and how they had all these people max out at level 7, and they probably thought it was only going to go to level 7, and then they added more levels all the way up to level 12 just to make the level 7 people think, oh, I can reach higher heights. I don't know. Anyway, that was my first little thing, like click in my head going, oh man. Just so you know, those who are following me, check that out and go with your gut. I'm gonna leave some money in there just to keep growing until it doesn't. All right, so let's move over to PanBridge. Still waiting for PanBridge to send out my money there. PipLogic. It's been a crazy week with PipLogic. The last trading day was yesterday. No, it was it Thursday morning? No, it was Wednesday morning. And man, they put in 28 trades. And the thing about it with me is I work all night, and so I'm up when they start trading. Sometimes they trade like at 1 o'clock in the morning for me, probably like 2 or 3 in the morning for East Coast, but they start trading before the market opens. And I mean, they were just putting in these trades, and the first 3 trades they put in had a loss, and I was down like $150, and I'm like, what? Well, that happens. And I look, and they have 4 active trades, and I watch those trades, and they all went up. Again, I think I even mentioned this on my last video, that I think they did it Monday morning, where they traded quite a bit too. This one was 28 trades. So the 4 trades that they had going that was active, I watched it go all the way up to almost $1,000 for all 4 of those trades. And I'm like, wow, and I thought, a trailing stop loss would be awesome if it was just like a 2%, stop loss or whatever it is. So if it comes down, I'm like, you can really save a lot of the green that you've accomplished by putting that trailing stop loss in as it's going up. But I don't know if they're just manual trading it or not. That whole $1,000 trade went all the way back down to about $200, and so they sold it in profit but it basically just covered, you know, the loss on that last one. So I'm like, oh man, you had $1,000 in there. And then throughout the rest of the morning, I stopped watching because it was just kind of, you know, it's a lot of anxiety with the stock market going up and down like that. Your emotions get into it. So I stopped watching. By the end, when they're trying to make up for that, you know, that Cloudflare debacle that they had, but they're just really trying to hit it hard. And so 28 trades later, after the dust settled, I was about $125 up on the day, which was good. But still, after 25 trades, they're really trying hard to hit it big and make up for the loss that we made, or that we had from the Cloudflare thing. So this one, I did actually put another $2,000 in there. So I'm $2,800 into it. And my account right now is $31.25, so it's I'm definitely in profit again, so that's great. Love that. So to unveil my new project, and I say new project, but this group that I've been in for probably about 2 years, they've been going for about 4 years, and I really like the way they do it. First of all, their dev group is awesome. But AJ, I don't know if you guys know AJ in the space, but he is really just a stand-up guy. In some of his projects, if they had some kind of a loss in those projects, he always made up for it. And this is basically the EMP group. I don't know if you've ever heard of the EMP group, but they they have several projects, and right now their big one is Fusion, but they have like 12, maybe more, and they're always creating more income streams going into that project. And right now, one of their biggest projects as far as just a new workaround is Plazm. And Plazm, a lot of their projects now are income earning because of what they made up in, they call them bonds. So let me actually go to, so these DEX5 bonds. And so this is something they created, which is absolutely amazing. Currently funded almost $2 million, but off of that $2 million, they've had this open for about I don't even think 6 months now, but this is all the money they've distributed from that. $760,000, and including Bernard bonds, which is one of the ones you can get into also, it's almost $1 million from these farming bonds that they have, treasury bonds they call them. But absolutely amazing. I've never heard of any other project that has paid out $1 million from, I think the Bernard bonds almost has $1 million in there, so it's almost, or it's about $22.5 million, but so far in 6 months they've paid out $1 million. Pretty crazy. Right now the APR right here is right around 60%. I've seen this as high as 120%, and this is just basically you're putting your money in this. It's kind of like a yield farming ETF, because they put all these pairs in liquidity in the pairs with this money that they've received, and the money of course goes out into the exchanges, and they make money off of all the fees that people are doing all exchanging in, and so all those fees come in, and that's what they've paid out. Pretty crazy. 120% would be 10% a month. 60% is half that, so it's about 5% a month. But I've always seen it like in the 70s and the 80s. I've seen it, quite a bit. And what this does is it collects people's money that's coming in, and then they'll put a deposit into these liquidity pairs, and then this goes up again. It'll go up to like 60 or 70 or 80% while they're earning money on all that. Because this could be just because they're holding maybe $100,000 waiting to put it into the market. So that is absolutely phenomenal. But from this, they've created even more projects that are earning money for the fusion project that they have. So this one right here is one of those. And so the money that comes in here, and what you do is you put in your ETH, your Ethereum, and it's on base chain, so Ethereum base, and you'll put that in there as ETH, and you'll get this one's called create. So you're putting money in and you're creating tokens for yourself. And this one's stake, and these are the 3,600. If you do the daily, you get 47% daily. This fluctuates. It's definitely a moving average there. This one right here for staking is almost 6,000% a day. But the create, of course, has a multiplier on there. So here's my portfolio. I put in $1,000 and it created almost 300 Plazm, and from that it actually starts to increase. So right now, yields earned, I own 712 Plazm, and the market value right now is 1.49 thousand, so almost $1,500. This one, you stake it. For the longer you stake it, the more you get, of course, and that's how it is usually with everything. But this one, if you stake it, the max is 77 days, and so in a year you can do about 5 rotations of this. But right now, if I went to stake, see, it says how much Ethereum I can, or how much Plazm I can stake. So this one right here tells you can stake 392, and that's if I wanted to withdraw my creation beforehand. And if I did that with 77 days, at that one right there, it gives you the estimated what you'll earn in 77 days, which is 25,000 Plazm. So pretty crazy as far as the exponential growth on this. So this one's is kind of a long-term play for me. I'll probably do a couple of rotations of maybe 2 or 3 rotations of creating it. There's an easy mode which tells you where you can make the most money at the time. So if you click easy mode, because with staking you actually have to go into DexFi and trade it for Plazm tokens and things like that. Easy mode does it for you. So if you wanted to max out your Ethereum there after you connect your wallet, Ethereum on base, remember the base chain, and if you max that out, then it'll tell you where to go. So if this went down, and this goes up when the market's going down, and that's what it's been doing, so that's why there's such a big difference in the create and stake. Usually they're about the same, but if you do easy mode, it automatically takes you to where you'll make the most money if you put in what you have in your wallet. So that's kind of cool the way they do that. But this one, I'm just gonna buy. I'll probably put another maybe another 1,000 in it, and just from that $2,000, we'll see how high this thing goes in the next 6 months or so, as I do a couple of 77-day rotations. So many of these projects stall out, but the reason this one won't is because the money, the ETH that you're putting in, will go to buying Plazm and burning it. So and the nice thing is that the ETH that's in this is invested in one of these or several of these bonds that are earning real yield. So there's always going to be money coming into these accounts, 5 or 6 or 7% a month, and every time they do that, it buys more Plazm and burns it. So this one's going to be around for a while. This dev group and AJ has been around for going on, I think it's past 4 years. One of the longest projects out there that have not fallen into some kind of issues with their project or failing at certain things. But like I mentioned before, these people with the real yield that's coming in to all their projects, if one of them goes down for some reason, they always make it up. Like this one, you get I think this one's a 70-30 split, so you get 70%, and the 30% right now is paying down one of their debts from one of their other places. But then the after that's all paid off, which was quite a bit of money, they will take that 30% and make a treasury out of this too. So there is a treasury here, and it buys and burns. It's basically shoving all that Plazm tokens into their own burn wallet. So that's kind of nice too, because that'll jack up the price too. So anyway, this one's the next thing that I'm getting into. Fusion I'm in quite heavily and waiting for their their new reveal here in the next week about Plazm, or I mean about Fusion, sorry. But all these different things that they have, even this right here, the fees that they make off of this go into Fusion to pay out their APR. So if you've never been introduced to this ecosystem, definitely get into them. They have a weekly AMA on Thursdays. Just look up on YouTube EMP Fusion and you'll be able to find where you can get updated on that every week on how their progress goes and all the different things. They have a game out that's called Honor versus Madness, which is going really well, and 10% of that revenue goes into Fusion. So all these things feed into Fusion, and they've got so many different projects that they're in, and they're just really going strong. So I highly recommend looking at this one. And I'll put several videos up about Plazm, and they're kind of the easy step-by-step type things, and they'll explain it a lot, and that's given to you by CK Crypto. I'm not sure if you know anything about him, but he's really into this space here, and he's putting out some really good content about Plazm, trying to make it easy to understand, because this one is a one-of-a-kind. The way they've got it set up, a lot of these die out because they need new money to come in, but this one has the treasury bonds, which has new money coming in no matter what. So this one, they always say it doesn't matter how many people are in this one, it'll still grow. Even if it stops having new members, it'll still grow because of the treasury bonds that are still feeding it. So that's a great way they're making this one happen. But then they're also doing the 77 days, and then the to be able to roll it over and get a lot of diamond hands in this one, just to make it grow like crazy. Definitely for the long-term holder. I say a long-term, but years not that long in this space. A year's up in no time, but we're already almost in 2026. I can't believe it. But I'll add some more videos like this explaining this one a little better in my next video. All right, talk to you later. We'll see you after Thanksgiving. Hope everyone has a good Thanksgiving. And remember, DSJ, take your seed money out and whatever profits you want to make on it, and then just let it keep growing, because you just never know when these things, and I'm just getting the red flags that I've been hit with before. So take that as you will, but I'm definitely taking my profits. I'm leaving some money in there. Hopefully it'll be around for years, but if not, at least you'll be like, okay, I made some money. That's good. That's what we want to do in this space. All right, we'll talk to you guys next week. See ya.